be sociably 5 minutes late. It's always the case. You're racing from one meeting to the next. So we're just on good Wellington time, okay? Even though we're in Timaru, but never mind. Are we good to go? Thank you, Jackie. Well, welcome everybody. It's a bit momentous for us, isn't it? Because it's our first meeting of the new triennium. And I make a general assumption that everybody knows everybody here. I met with, I think, all of you last Tuesday, but I am conscious, Janice, you haven't had the chance to meet everybody. Okay, John? Yep. But I know who he is, that's right. And Janice, just briefly, who are you?
I'm a ring-in, independent member of the committee. I'm a professional director. Background was in finance and executive CE. I chair the Civil Aviation Authority, Aviation Security. Do not talk to me about queues at airports.
I have twice already today,
yeah.
So I'm blacklisted.
I'm on the NIWA board, the Aurora Energy Board, Main Power, Lincoln University Council, so that's my gig really.
Great. So it's great to have everybody here, and thank you management for coming to the table. If anybody else wants to come and join us in the back seats, you're welcome to find a chair. It is a really important part, and you'll recall from the briefing that I gave you last Tuesday that I am very keen that we treat this as a real meeting of both governance and management, and that's always best symbolised by me, that we all sit around the table and are able and open to talking to each other. So that's great. Just want a couple of thanks. One to Michelle and Scott that really took to heart my injunction that all these meetings should be held at the Arthur Street kitchen. And so we've already had the meeting, haven't we? So I'm about to declare it closed. I just want to acknowledge that I made an offer to catch up with me if there are any matters, and I'm just grateful you guys did. I think we had a really useful conversation. You'll hear lots of it, I think, in the course of this meeting. So it wasn't a pre-meeting, it was just a chance to understand more about how the committee works. So look, an open offer to you folk, particularly as the new members, that as we go through the work, if there's something in terms of why are we doing this, you're welcome to raise your questions, and I encourage you to do that as we develop our ability as a team through the course of it. The one other acknowledgement is, Bede.
Just in our introductions, Mr Chair, Andrea Rankin, who's our financial controller, may not be known to everyone.
Sorry, Andrea, yes.
Joining us, and Roo Hattinger, I think, is known to most.
Yes, I met Roo last meeting. Andrea, so that's great. And Andrea, great to have you here as well. Welcome, and please participate fully. The other acknowledgement I just wanted to make was Azura. Now, I think it's fair I can say that I know you're going. Which is, well, it's encouraging for you. I understand it's closer to family, but for us it's a great loss. I remember I heard your name before I even met you when at a short stage a good old colleague Dave Foster was in here helping, and he said that young lady Azura is superb, and I think everything you've done since then has been tremendous for us in raising our standard, and indeed enabling us to know that, for instance, we've got a draft report to audit, annual report, there's a Freudian slip, Stephen, a draft annual report to deal with today, which is tremendous. So thank you for your hard work. I know you'll be more than missed by your colleagues and certainly by this committee. So all the best wishes. I'm glad to hear it's still in local government. I think that's correct. Western Bay of Plenty, they're very lucky to have you. So all the best as you go through the change. Right, if we just come to the agenda, please. I think we've got a full list here, but can I just check, are there any apologies? Are people able to stay the course of the day? You might want to ask me how long is the day going to be. It's a reasonably full agenda. I think I've said to Janice it's 2 o'clock. I suspect that means it might be 3. Can people stay, or do you have any apologies?
I just said something at 2:30.
So 2:30 would be a good time to finish, wouldn't it, Nigel? Okay, so you can be my sergeant at arms and throw bricks at me if we're struggling with that time. That means, by the way, that I think we have an early lunch at 11:30, so I'd like to suggest that we go straight through at 11:30 and then have a decent break, rather than have a sort of a too soon a break for morning tea. Rightio. So with the agenda, obviously, as you realise, we've got our colleagues from the Office of the Auditor General and Audit New Zealand, and for their timing, I'd like us to meet with them now. It deals with matters that are already within our PX agenda, so I am going to move from the chair that we move into PX for this item to be able to hear from the OAG and Audit New Zealand. Do I have a seconder? Thank you, Nigel. Any discussion on the motion? I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against? It's carried. Right, are we just...